Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we're going to be talking about how to make fasting a lifestyle. We're missing a piece of the puzzle.
You start getting healthy and you just become a better person.
We need to start focusing more on the individual. Hey everybody, real quick, just wanted to let you know I released a new size on the bracelets. I figured that I should probably have one more size. So right now I've got a 7-inch bracelet, a 7.5-inch bracelet, and an 8-inch bracelet, which is the new size. So if the old bracelet was a little bit too snug for you, I do have a bigger size now available. Same design and everything, just fits more comfortably on a bigger wrist. Hopefully that helps you guys out. If it does, make sure to come grab one, especially if you've been like thinking, oh, I can't get a bracelet because my wrist is too big. Well, now we got your size. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how to make fasting a lifestyle. And this is crucial because in the past I've talked about how, fasting is a lifestyle. Don't use fasting as if it was just a get healthy quick thing, lose a quick couple pounds thing. That's not what fasting is. As a matter of fact, while you can use fasting that way, and many people do, I think that it only tends to perpetuate negative ideas about health and wellness. I don't think anything should be used as a get healthy quick thing, kind of like a get rich quick thing. You don't want to get healthy quick. Even with fasting and how amazing it is, there's so many different layers and levels when it comes to health, especially from a holistic standpoint. When you're talking about the spiritual, physical, and mental health, it takes time to really peel back all those layers. One of the things that I noticed is that when I did longer durations with my fasts, I was actually getting deeper healing in other areas outside of just the physical, and that's very important. If you use fasting the wrong way, or if you don't look at it the right way, you may miss out on some of the benefits that come along with fasting as a lifestyle. I know that one of the members of the group was talking about like anxiety and depression and those types of issues, and believing that, this is something I'm going to be dealing with for the rest of my life. And of course, I mentioned that John and I had seen some release, some mental release, some emotional release from doing some long-term fasting. And the interesting thing is they didn't see any release from their long-term fasting. But then when they switched it up and they tried dry fasting, that's when they started seeing that richer experience from fasting. The thing about it is we're all unique beings. So what worked for me, the way it worked for me, might be a little different for you, right? But at the end of the day, we're still using the same technique. It might take you a little bit longer. You might have to do dry fasting instead of water to see the results in the time frame that you want to see them in. But at the end of the day, it's something you can get done. And what it's going to take is consistency, right? Because if that individual had decided, oh, it didn't work, I'm just going to give up, then they never would have got their healing in such in a manner that they thought, well, it's not even possible. So it's very important to make this a lifestyle change. Not to mention there's many, actually, in my opinion, there's really no downside to making fasting a lifestyle. So we're really just going to talk about the benefits, because once it becomes a lifestyle, you don't want to go back, right? It's kind of like you think where you're at is better because you feel like you can explore and eat whatever you want and eat whenever you want and whatever. But at the end of the day, you're giving up so much to live that type of lifestyle, and you don't realize that until you actually make fasting a lifestyle. So here's a simple way to start making fasting a lifestyle. Start small, okay? First of all, I would like to point out it took me probably about a year or so to get myself to a point where I felt like fasting was a lifestyle. But pick an area of fasting that's really, really simple for you, right? So we've talked about the different types of fast in the past. You've got intermittent fasting, alternate day fasting. You have one meal a day. You've got long-term fasting, water fasting, dry fasting, etc. Right? Learn about the different types of fasts and then incorporate the very easiest one into your daily, weekly practice. In order to make it a lifestyle change, all it needs to do is be consistent, right? Even if you're only fasting for a period of time once a month, that's still a lifestyle change. That is still consistent. So what I did was I started off with no breakfast because not eating breakfast was already really easy for me to do. I often found myself forcing myself to eat breakfast. And this is way before I even was trying to get healthy or anything like that. It just wasn't comfortable for me to eat breakfast. I always wanted to eat later. So that was easy for me. Well, that's intermittent fasting. So if you skip breakfast and you start eating around noon, let's say your day starts at 6 or 7 or 8 even, and you start eating around noon, that's intermittent fasting because traditionally speaking, you should probably be sleeping around 11 o'clock or so. I mean, everybody's a little different, but you shouldn't be eating up until the moment you go to sleep. So what you've done is you've extended your fasting window from, let's say, about 8 or 9 hours to, I don't know, depending on your schedule, maybe 10 to 12 hours, right? Which is great. I mean, a 12-hour fasting window every day is actually really, really good. It's a great place to start. It's something easy. Even if not eating when you in the morning is too difficult for you, you can even start where it's okay. You don't eat, but maybe you have some juice in the morning, fresh squeezed juice in the morning rather than eating something solid. Or even if that's too much, I mean, you can really get basic with this. Just eat fruit only. If you're going to eat in the morning between the time you wake up and let's say noon, the only thing you allow yourself to do is eat fruit, right? So this isn't something that can't be done. This is absolutely doable, right? So depending on where you decide to start, all you want to do is just create goals for yourself, okay? Get yourself a journal. I've got journals that are available now, and this is exactly one of the reasons why I have, designed the journals. You could use it as goal setting. So you could track your goals in your journal and you can make entries every day. I've got graph paper and line and dot paper there. You can do whatever you want. You can make it really fun, use stickers, use colors, etc. But you could track, hey, today I only ate one piece of fruit for breakfast, right? Then 2 weeks from now, hey, today I only drank some juice. And then maybe a month or two down the line, you realize, hey, I don't even eat fruit. I don't drink juice. I'm good. Like I wake up, I have some water, boom, I'm on my way. Then I have lunch at noon and I'm good. And you can see and track your progress. Okay, so that's one very simple way to get started. Now, if you're a little bit more advanced and you feel like, doing fasting, one day out of the week, that's pretty easy money for me. Then it depends on what it is, how you incorporate fasting as a lifestyle is going to depend on what it is you're trying to achieve. A lot of people who create fasting as a lifestyle tend to be worried about losing too much weight. So if you've got fasting as a lifestyle, or let's say that you've been fasting for a while, you've got some of the results you've been looking for, and now you're concerned with losing too much weight. Well, there's a couple things that kind of go along with that. Number one, not to demean your desire to look, appealing, but I definitely think that your health should come first, right, over everything. And that's what this is all about, is becoming healthy. One of the things I noticed is that as I became healthier and as I slimmed down, I noticed that I didn't care as much about my weight as I used to. I realized that there were other people who were putting their ideas about what my body size should be and what's healthy for me on me. It wasn't what I believed, it was just what someone was teaching me. I feel so much better now than I did when I was 70, 80 pounds heavier. I just do, period. Do I want to gain some more weight? Sure, I'd like to gain some more weight, but right now I'm focused on my healing, and that's the most important thing. You can always gain weight. Like you're always going to have the opportunity to gain weight back. That's usually pretty easy. You eat and you gain weight. But what's more important is to become healthy. So I wouldn't worry about weight loss or even maintaining a weight. I would just kind of shift my focus on health. Let health be your guide, and then let everything else kind of just fall into place after that. So a one day a week is a pretty good fast, right? Like you can eat, maybe you're like, oh, I want to eat breakfast. I want to eat breakfast. I want to eat lunch. I want to eat dinner, etc. Okay, well, incorporate one fast every week, or you could even do a little bit better and do 2 days or 3 days a week. and then you eat 3 meals on the days that you're not fasting. Okay, that's an opportunity. That's a choice you have as well. I know some people who like to fast 5 days out of the month. So they'll block off 5 days in 1 week, right? If you're gonna be doing multiple days like that, you wanna put them together as much as possible. They're gonna have the most effect. So if you wanted to fast 5 days a month, my recommendation would be to put them all together versus, spreading it out and saying, oh, I'm gonna fast once a week or 1.25 fasts per week, right? It'd be better to go ahead and put them all together, fast for 5 days straight, and then next month, hit your next 5-day fast. That would be more beneficial from a healing standpoint. Another kind of fun way that you can use fasting to incorporate fasting into your lifestyle, especially if you're transitioning from, the standard American diet, the traditional way of eating, into a healthier lifestyle, a healthier way of eating, is you can create rules for yourself. Okay, now you could say, all right, here's my goal to eat healthier, right? I'm transitioning, so that's my goal, is to eat healthier. But if I slip up and I have pizza, then that means I got to fast for 2 days, right? Just getting it's kind of like the swear jar people have. It's like, oh, if you cuss, you got to put $1 in the jar. That might be a fun way for you. Everybody's a little different. Right? I mean, there's 100 different ways that you can kind of go about incorporating fasting as a lifestyle, but you got to decide what works for you, right? Everybody's a little bit different, but some people like that. Some people, the fact that they've got to put that $1 in the jar every time they curse, it's like, okay, eventually it's like, all right, I'm getting tired of paying this money, right? Or you might just get to a point where you're like, you know what, man, I'd rather eat alkaline, or I'd rather eat healthy than to be fasting all the time. I gotta fast 2 days every time I have some pizza or something. So it might encourage you to go ahead and just make that jump and just leave pizza alone for good, because pizza's a powerful opponent. But it also might push you to, instead of getting your traditional pizza, maybe it'll make more sense for you to learn how to make the healthy version of pizza, which I've done a couple of different pizzas. I've had a couple different pizza ideas, and I find that I enjoy it. It's not as nice as going to a, like an Italian restaurant and ordering pizza in New York or something. And New York style pizza is good, but it's better than nothing. And I've actually grown fond of some of the different crusts and things that you can make with vegetables. Some of the different cheese replacements and things like that. It's actually not too bad. So, and I'm a huge fan of pizza, but as you kind of go through this, you make eating healthy and fasting a lifestyle, your taste buds change and you get tired of the bloatedness and the constipation and all the stuff that comes along with eating these foods. And so you look for alternatives, and then you end up kind of liking the alternative better than what you originally were eating. For example, I can't eat eggs anymore. Now, I stopped eating meat quite some time ago, but I would still eat vegetarian style dishes from time to time, but I did stop eating like scrambled eggs. So now if I smell scrambled eggs, or if something has too much egg in it, or if I come in contact with egg, it kind of makes me feel sick, which is interesting because I never got that before I started getting healthy. So anyway, I'm rambling. I hope that something I said was helpful for you and you can utilize it to help you create a fasting lifestyle, because that's what's ultimately going to give you the best results, especially if you're dealing with some deep-seated problems. You really need that lifestyle change because the world is constantly attacking our body. The air, the water, the food, everything is toxic. So making fasting a lifestyle is vitally important, especially if you want to live a long and healthy, vibrant life. It's cool to have 100 years on this earth if you are healthy and you can enjoy every moment and you can remember it. And that's what fasting kind of allows you to do as you incorporate fasting and proper eating into your diet, drinking clean water. You can live a long life and enjoy it. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, the application of knowledge is power. And I will see you guys next time.